guys. For you guys, it's Friday, so that means it's time for a 5 fast. For me, it's absolutely not Friday, but it really doesn't matter. Now that I've started doing this full time, I never know what day of the week it is. I set an alarm so that I don't forget to put the trash out on Thursdays. So it's a weird situation to live in. Guys, turn down the volume. Here comes a little bit of music, and then we'll get into it. Guys, we are going to look at 5 knives that you could carry as an EDC item. Now, I want you to keep in mind, not every place allows you to carry a fixed blade anywhere you want. I'm lucky in San Diego. You would be surprised, being in California, that you can carry pretty much anything in San Diego that you want as a fixed blade, and most of California, if you want to know the truth, with no repercussions as long as it's exposed. So before we get into it, just know that not all these items that I'm saying to carry can be carried by you. They're just something that if you're in an area where you can, you should be able to carry it. But before we go any further, you guys should go check out this channel. This is Cinnamon Toast Ken and Buff Pro. Go check them out. They're a lot of fun. I was watching some videos that they did this morning when I got up before I could actually film. So I had some stuff I had to do, but I was watching their stuff in the background. So go give them a check out. It's a good, fun channel. So let's go ahead and get this turned around and look at some EDC fixed blades. Guys, before we even start, so this is going to be out for comparison, just for size purposes. This is a Sebenza. Most people should know the difference, you know, the size, the average size of a Sebenza. It's a larger fixed blade or folding knife, but it's still a good knife. Now, the reason we're doing this is because there are a lot of times carrying a fixed blade is a lot more handy, and I've mentioned this before, than trying to use a folding knife. This folding knife is incredibly easy to use. It's been made to be as easily operated as possible. You can use it with gloves because it does have a large cutout, but there are moving parts. There are things that you have to manipulate. And sometimes if you're in a situation where you have heavy work gloves on, or if you're out in the wilderness and you have thick gloves on to keep your hands warm, that's going to be an impedance. And sometimes it's just a pain. Plus, you get stuff down inside, and then you run into issues with the actual function of the knife. Stuff gets into bearings, stuff gets into pivots, stuff even gets into washers. Stuff gets in, and then you can't lock the knife all the way open. So there's multiple reasons why you would want to carry a fixed blade. So what we're going to look at next is just 5 quick fixed blades that are easily carryable and done as an EDC fashion. The first one we're going to look at is the Ferrum Forge Lackey. Now, mine does not have its soft loops because I could not find the clip for a knife I was giving away, and the person said, well, I'll take some soft loops if you have them, and I took soft loops off this knife because I honestly don't carry this that often because it is so gorgeous. But this is a very good day-to-day EDC fixed blade. It's just in the right size. As you can see, look at that. It's significantly smaller than the Sebenza, and you're getting a full knife. You can just put this on some soft loops, put it on your belt, pull it out when you need it, put it back in its sheath. It's hard to do that through the camera. I don't want to stab myself in the hand. And you've got everything you would need. You have a small, easy, ready knife that you don't have to worry about closing and opening and things like that. And I will tell you, having worked on construction sites, a folding knife can be in the way. It can be a pain in the ass. Sorry, pardon my French, but it can be because you have gloves on, you've got stuff going on, and it's sometimes just a lot easier just in and out of the sheath on your belt, scout carry, than it is to pull this out of your pocket, open it, then close it, then put it away, then go do what you're doing, and then pull it out again, open it, close it, and repeat. So sometimes a little fixed blade like this is great, like I said in the beginning. This thing is incredibly good for a lot of tasks. It's done incredibly well. So a small little fixed blade like the Ferrum Forge Lackey is a great little knife. Like I said, this one doesn't get carried as much. I bought this just because I bought it with my own money. I wanted to support the boys over at Ferrum Forge, and I liked the look of it, so I kept it for, you know, I got it and I kept it as a piece that's just mine. So there you go. There's your first one, the Ferrum Forge Lackey. Now these come in several versions. This one, I know they have, I think there's a 9CR version and a couple other versions. I think there's a D2 version and different scales. So there you go. The next knife is the Kabar TDI. Now this is not so much, you can use this as a day-to-day user knife if you really needed to. You can get it. It's got a good grip if you're trying to do some like heavy cutting, cutting cardboard, things like that. But if you were going to try and want to use this for much detail cutting or anything like that, it wouldn't come in handy. But this is another nice, small little fixed blade that you can carry on your belt if it's legal, that comes with a nice hard side sheath, pocket clip, the belt clip, I mean, on this you can use as a pocket clip. I have. It works really well. It's well made. Sheath is great. The steel on this is good. It has held up. It takes a keen edge. It is sharp. And I'm not gonna lie, it is comfortable in hand, but this was meant more as a self-defense tool. This was designed for police officers so that they had something that didn't require much training. It's along the lines of the Spyderco Civilian, or in other cases, the Matriarch 2, which were designed just for self-defense tools. There is actually a school, this was designed in Ohio, not too far from where I live, to tell you the truth, where you can go and you can learn the proper way to use this. And it is a functional little tactical tool that you can carry. Like I said, though, you can carry this and use this as a you know, an EDC fixed blade and doing things. I just don't find it as comfortable, and I think it was better suited for its intended purpose, which was self-defense. But once again, including sheath under the size of a folding pocket knife here. So this is another nice little option for an EDC fixed blade. So there you go, the Kabar TDI. Admittedly, this next knife is something you're not going to be able to find, but this is a small little Morgan custom, and there are other knives out there like that. This knife has come in so handy for so many things. It's a small little thin Wharncliffe with a hollow grind that's done really well. It's got a little bit of a recurve to it. This has come in really handy for a lot of things. Plus it's just beautiful. The sheath on this has got a pocket clip. I carry this actually a lot. This is my daughter's knife, but I carry it because she doesn't. This is going to be hers, you know, at some point. But this is another example of a very nice, very small little fixed blade that can be used day to day. I've used this for kitchen tasks. I've used this for small tasks around the garage and at the house. I actually carried this around in my pocket as my day-to-day carry for a little while just to see how it would work out. And it's done very well. It's attractive. You're not going to be able to find one of these, I don't think, but it is another small knife. If you can find one of these, if you ever see one of these, I absolutely recommend snatching one up. This is done in ATS 34 steel. You remember us talking with Bob Terzuola about ATS 34? This takes a really keen edge. And like I said, it's just beautiful. And I carry this a lot of times if I'm going somewhere where I know there's going to be other knife people, and I pull this out and it just gets some attention because it is attractive and it's well done, and it's all around a really, really good knife. So next to the Sebenza, you're looking, that is a tiny, I would almost say that's like a micro fixed blade. So even in sheath, because of the leather sheath on this, it's pretty socketed. I mean, still well under the size of the Chris Reeve Sebenza. So nice little fixed blade. I do like little knives like this, especially little fixed blades. They do come in so handy. And like I said, you don't have to worry about opening and closing this. If you're using it and you just, you know, you're just doing a couple things, set it down, pick it back up, it's really comfortable in hand. And one of the big things is fixed blades don't have pocket clips. I hate the way most pocket clips feel. So that's another reason that I like to carry a small EDC fixed blade. So there you go. That's that Morgan custom. Our next to the last one is, now this not particular, I have several different versions of one of these. This is a boot knife. This happens to be the A.G. Russell Sting done by CRKT. It's drop forged. This is a second chance tool. Now you can get some that are much thinner and actually are slicey and things like that, maybe with a hollow grind. That's not what this was intended for, but this is an example of just like a boot knife. If you're able to carry a concealed knife where you live and it's not illegal, sometimes these things are a nice option. They come in handy for something. This thing, I like this one because it was drop forged. It's not gonna break, the handle's not coming apart. I could stick this in something if I needed to, pound it in and use it as a stake or a spike. But this 100% was something that I picked up while I was in the military to have a second chance tool as a defensive option. It's never going to be really good at a lot of things, but you can get knives like this that are. This thing was just something that I of course, there comes the planes every time I film. Thing is that, you know, carrying a boot knife, and especially one that is not just one of the cheap ones that clips. Wow, that thing just really is everywhere. This straps to your ankle. You can wear it in any kind of boots. It goes over your boot. You have easy access to it. It was really well designed and thought out. The retention on it's pretty good. But, you know, here we go. Here's another small fixed blade that is smaller than a folding knife. And you're getting a full-size blade. If you were to thin that edge out or have it reground, it would probably be great. But you're looking at, you know, you have a full-size blade and handle in a package that's smaller, and it doesn't require any motor skills. You know what I mean? Fixed blade knives are really great for people that might have, like you know, I've talked about it. I have some issues with my hand, and I have some carpal tunnel, which, you know, affects my ability, my fine motor skills. But, you know, some of those things can be a hindrance. So, you know, maybe a small boot knife would be up your alley. So there you go. The A.G. Russell Sting. That was number 4. And our final knife, of course you knew I was going to show it. This is my Sea Snake. It is a small EDC fixed blade. This was designed with all the things I've talked about in mind. You know, all the things I've talked about so far this video in mind. This is a small fixed blade. It's good for day-to-day tasks. It's not overly large, so, you know, you might fall within some municipalities. You might be able to carry this. This is just about the right blade size for a lot of small duty tasks. I did it nice and thin. So a small little fixed blade like this, I like a Wharncliffe on a small fixed blade, because then you can, like I said, there's a lot of things you can do with this that I might not necessarily not be able to do with this one, but there's some things that I'm just going to be able to do a little better with this, especially small detail cutting tasks and things like that. Not at all detracting from this knife. It's the blade shape that I'm more referring to. So it kind of happened as an accident. One of the guys wanted one of my knives made, and he's like, yeah, but could you flip the blade shape over? And I was like, oh, we could probably do that, and turn it into a Wharncliffe, turned into a design. It does come in incredibly handy. I carry this a lot. This has seen so much work, and it does a good job of it. Is this something you're going to do a lot of prying and tearing on? No, it's not a hard use fixed blade. None of these are. These were all designed, these little knives were designed for small duty tasks that you do on a day-to-day that you might not want to have something. The other thing is, you know, putting a knife in your pocket sometimes can get in the way. You've got other stuff in there. You don't necessarily want to have this in your pocket. Some people carry their phone in their front pocket, and now you've got this is going to scratch your screen up. Putting this on your belt, horizontal carry, like that, may be a viable option. So, you know, you're looking at something that even in sheath is still smaller than the Sebenza. So, guys, there's a lot of reasons to carry a small fixed blade. I couldn't even come up with mentioning them all, but down to the bare bones of it, a fixed blade is always going to be more reliable than a folding knife. It really is. There's just no way you can ever get past the fact that a fixed blade is more reliable than a folding knife. And a lot of times, because there's not a pocket clip, they're more comfortable. So that's it, guys. That's basically, I just wanted to show you some small fixed blades. There's all kinds of other things that you could carry. Like there's some of these and stuff like that. Like whatever you want to carry, just make sure you're doing it legally. I don't want to see anybody get in trouble. I don't want anyone to think, oh, Mike's saying I should start carrying a belt knife fixed blade. No, it's not what I'm saying. Just saying there's options out there. If you're allowed to carry them, I recommend it. So let's turn this around, do some final thoughts. There you go, guys. There was 5 fast EDC fixed blades, and you knew this was going to have to pop up. It had to. It's my knife. It's my design. So, like I said, check legalities before you carry anything. Make sure you're not violating the law if you care. So, guys, if you like the content, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. But please try to tell me why. I can't change the content if I don't know what you don't like. I use it as a metric to see what videos I should just avoid doing anymore. So if you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like I did with Cinnamon Toast Ken and Buff Pro. Share the channel with people you think would enjoy it. If you're following the giveaway that Jared is doing, make sure that you're following those channels and subscribing and hitting the bell icon. Liking, subscribing, and watching the videos is the best thing you can do to support any channel. But if you do want to support the channel directly monetarily, I have a bunch of ways you can do it. I have a membership tab down below in the description. All of these items can be found. I have a membership tab down below that gets you on early access to videos, exclusive content, exclusive giveaways, and premium tier sharpening tutorial series, and $5 off per sharpening. I also have affiliate links down below. Anything you click on and purchase, I get a portion of the take, and it doesn't cost you anything at checkout. And then I have a merchandise store at Ember Shirt Co. I've set up a coupon code there where you can save 10% anywhere on Ember Shirt Co. The coupon code is CrazySharp, capital C, capital S, all one word. CrazySharp saves you 10% at checkout. Guys, I love you all. Keep it clean in the comments section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I will see you in the next video.